Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well. In my today's session, I'll be discussing about what is adaptive leadership. Adaptive leadership is a leader model that embraces change, challenging the status quo in favor of experimentation and innovation. The goal is for companies to be adaptive in their decision making, so despite an evolving environment, challenges are handled successfully. Adaptive leadership is a leadership model developed by Ronald A. Heifetz and Marty Lenski. It differs from a traditional leadership, which often focuses on maintaining stability and addressing known problems. Equipping a team of leaders to work together with employees is essential for business survival. The adaptive leadership model goes against traditional problem solving methods. In this model, there are two types of problems, that is technical and adaptive. In my today's session, I'll be discussing both of them. Technical issues rely on protocol, procedures, rules, regulations to solve them. Adaptive challenges, on the other hand, depend on dynamic, people focused solutions. What's more, creative solutions strengthen the organization and ensure its long term success. Adaptive leadership versus if I talk about technical problems. Adaptive leadership recognizes that there are two main problems, as I have told you earlier, that is technical and adaptive. With technical problems, a satisfactory predetermined response is already available, and one more expert who possesses solid reputations are sought to address those issues. Overall, technical problems are mechanical and can be solved only by professionals. With adaptive problems, there are absolutely no trained experts to deal with the problems at hand. Also, no set of established rules or procedures exist to address these issues. Mostly, these issues are really typical. In most cases, the definition of a problem is vague. When the problem is vague, you don't have so much ideas in hand. There aren't any technical fixes as well. So these are little tricky to solve at hand. It is in such situations that expertise of an adaptive leader become useful. You need to have someone who can give you some such advice which is easier for you to have when the problem is vague and you don't have so much stuff to handle it. Such an individual first helps to define the problem and then mobilizes his co workers to come up with the possible answers as well. Let me tell you about the key elements of adaptive change. First of all, we have to diagnose the situation. Adaptive leaders begin by understanding the nature and complexity of the challenges they face. They distinguish between the technical problems, which may have known solutions, and their adaptive challenges, which require new approaches. Then comes mobilizing the people. Adaptive leaders mobilize individuals and teams to confront adaptive challenges. They create a sense of urgency, engage stakeholders, including all those people who have direct or indirect impact on the businesses. And then it will help you to foster a collective commitment to change. As you know, when you have to bring change, then you have to bring change on the wider horizon. So you should have a collective decisions on that change as well. So it is much easier for a company to bring that change easily. Otherwise, certain problems may arise when you are trying to bring the change as well. Thirdly, which is very important, experimentation and learning. Adaptive leaders encourage experimentation and learning. Leaders accept that they may not be having an immediate solutions, that progress may require trying new approaches. Learning from failure and adapting accordingly. There's always room for learning. When you are confronting with failures, then you can find out the areas of improvement as well. Fourthly, managing the heat. Adaptive leaders are skilled at managing emotional aspects of change as well. They recognize that the adaptive challenges often generate resistance, conflict, discomfort, and they help people. Then comes balancing leadership and authority. Adaptive leaders may need to challenge existing authority and power structures to promote change. They balance authority with the need to distribute leadership throughout the organization. Four main principles of adaptive leadership are emotional intelligence, organizational justice, development, and character. Let me explain each one in an elaborated manner. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize your emotions, feelings, and those of the other people. With this awareness, an adaptive leader is able to build trust with other participants and foster quality relationships. We can have change only judged by having trust among your team members. If people keeps on having distrust among each other, you won't be able to meet your desired goals. You won't be able to foster quality relationships. You will fail in your final products. Therefore, emotional intelligence play a very significant role whenever you want to bring change. Then comes organizational justice. Another fundamental principle of adaptive leadership is fostering a culture of honesty. Adaptive leaders know the best policies to introduce for the good of organization. They also know that the best ways to introduce these changes so people embrace them. Adaptive leaders are willing to accommodate others and they are seeing people views, hence assuring them that they are valued and respected as well on the both sides simultaneously. Then comes development. Adaptive leaders entails learning new things. If one technique is not yielding desired results, an adaptive leader goes out of his or her way to discover new strategies that can work. With new techniques, both the employees and the company at large will experience growth and development. Then comes character. Adaptive leadership is about having a deep sense of character, being transparent and creative at the same time. Adaptive leaders may not always be right, but they earn the respect of those they work with and practice what they recommend. There are certain traits of adaptive leaders. These traits, more or less, are varying from one person to another, but on collectively, adaptive leaders possess these traits: the ability to link organizational change to primary value, abilities, and dreams of these stakeholders are also involved in this. The capacity to create an environment that embraces the diversity of views and take advantage of such collective knowledge to benefit the organization. The adaptive leaders understand that the change can be a painful process. Therefore, he or she can foresee and counteract any reluctant behaviors from the team members. And understanding that large scale change is a gradual process which calls for persistence and willingness to bear the pressure that comes along with that. Being proactive, looking for opportunities, investing the necessary resources to go after them, admitting when they make mistakes, and changing or abandoning non productive strategies. Being open to experimentation and risk taking is one of the most important traits of being an adaptive leader. Linking and encouraging innovation among employees is also one of the important traits. I must say that although adaptive leaders requires a great deal of effort, it provides substantial results as well. Based on critical statistics. Firms that are adaptive end up with immense gains both financially and operationally. They are able to weather storms and rise to the top even during the periods of volatility. Adaptive leaders can be distributed leadership, optimal talent mix, possessing a transparent character, and developing a mutual trust, as I have already told you and have discussed in this tutorial. That is all from my side. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Allah Hafiz.